Hi, my name is Stuart J. Whitmore, and I'm an independent author. This channel is for commentary about my books, my writings, and related things. It's not for news, it's just for commentary. If you'd like to stay up to date with my writings, I encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. In this video, I want to talk about dedications. Before I go too much further, I do want to point out that I am trying some different things with the videos, different cameras, different settings, different lighting. I'll eventually, once I like the look of things, I'll work on making them sound better. Right now there's no sound dampening or anything like that. I'm just in a room with a bunch of junk in it. But I will try to improve the production quality. But that's not what you're here for, right? You're not here for the production quality, you're here for commentary. So anyway, going back to what I want to talk about in this video, well, it's the type of young reader who would look at dedications and I would wonder, who is this person? Why did they get this book dedicated to them? And so when I first started publishing my own things, I put a lot of thought into my own dedications. Now, it didn't really actually start with books. It started with software, which I published back in, anyway, we won't say just how long ago that was, but there might be a dedication in the user manual or maybe in an Easter egg in the software. When I started self-publishing books, I took it even more seriously because, an Easter egg in the software might never be seen, but somebody opens up a book, there's a good chance they're going to see the dedication. So the very first book that I self-published, this isn't the original cover, but Journey to Yandel and Other Stories, was the first thing I tried self-publishing in print. I did it through a platform that didn't even involve an ISBN. It was just kind of this weird one-off thing. And I wasn't sure that I'd ever get anything else out in terms of a book. And I wanted a dedication that would mean a lot to me to go with this book. So if you've ever read this book and looked at the dedication, you'll see that it's dedicated in memory of Matt. Matt was my older brother, and I had turned 18 back in, whatever. And a couple weeks after that, he took his own life. And it was a big thing for me, and always will be, I guess. So I wanted to dedicate a book in his memory because he was, for me, a role model when I was growing up. Pretty important person in my life up to that point. So it seemed like a good starting point for a dedication. That was just a collection of short stories, though. It wasn't a novel, and I wasn't sure I'd ever get a novel out in print. I had no idea what was coming. But anyway, eventually I did self-publish a paperback novel, and this actually is the original cover. Lesson 1 Revolution has a very different cover on it now, because I was told that this cover would make people think of school shootings. And I guess I can see the connection there. Since it was my first novel, and I didn't know if I would get another novel out in print, I went ahead and dedicated it to my wife at the time and my kids, because I felt that was kind of obligatory. I didn't mind dedicating it to my kids. My wife at the time, yeah, I minded, but I did it anyway, because I felt it was an obligation. When I re-released it, I changed the dedication to remove my ex. But anyway, the point was, I didn't know, again, at that point, whether it was going to be, this is my only novel, or if there was more to come. Well, since then, I have done a lot more writing, and there's a lot of things I had written, even before I self-published anything. I had written multiple novels when I was in high school, and shortly after high school. They just were never published, and probably those early ones won't be. There were, books that I wrote when I was in the military, and I would usually pen in a dedication that meant something to me at the beginning of the writing of the book. So, I'll just use as an example, I started a fantasy story. It still has not been finished. I dedicated it to a young woman that I was interested in at the time. And it would be kind of weird to publish it now and leave that same dedication in there, but I probably will. It meant a lot to me at the time that I started that story. So just because I'm no longer interested in that person, sorry, Kari, but it just because I have changed my heart, as it were, I still respect where that story began and the thoughts that I had at the time. I may change the name of the character that I named after her, but the dedication will probably stay the same, just because of that original meaning to me. Anyway, there have been more books released, and I have many more on the way. Not just old things that I won't publish, but things that I actually do plan on finishing and publishing. And so in my personal author wiki, I have a page just for listing out all of the dedications so that I can see all of the ones I've used so far. And I'm sure, if I ever get to the point like some of my writing friends, they have just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens or hundreds of books or whatever, maybe I'll just quit or I'll reuse some. But right now, they're all unique. And I do have others that are in memory of different people. There's one that, and some of them, on that page of dedications, it includes things that I release under my real name and books that I release under a pen name. I only have one active pen name right now, but I have experimented with some other things under different pen names. And one of those was only one book, and that was dedicated in memory of a guy I used to work with when I was stationed in Germany, C.J. Spencer. And then another one I actually have as a visual aid for this video, because you don't want to just look at my face. Another one that was dedicated in memory of somebody was dedicated in memory of somebody that I've never met. If you read The Secret of Elm Guitar, you'll see that it is dedicated in memory of Ruth. I never met Ruth, but Ruth's life story was the original inspiration for this story. This is a fantasy. There is a dragon. I promise there's a dragon in this fantasy. And clearly, she didn't ever see a dragon. They're really rare these days. But because she and her life inspired that story, I thought it makes sense to dedicate that to her. Anyway, I think I've babbled enough for this video. Again, I won't promise that I won't babble in future ones, but I'm hoping that the weird video thing did not get recorded. If it did, you saw some weird stuff going on, and I apologize for that. I'm actually not going to re-record this probably, just because I have a lot going on right now. Tomorrow is my first full shift on a job where I'll be driving a forklift. If you watched my intro video for this channel, you know that I'm trying to become a creator who can live just on his creative works. So please like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this ridiculous stuff. And I hope I will see you again soon.